QA automation guys. So in today's video, we'll see what is packages, classes, objects, methods in Java. So I will give you a quick explanation. First, we'll see what is packages. So a package in Java is used to group related classes, interfaces, and other files that are needed for your framework. And think it is like a folder structure in your system. Say for example, in your machine you have different folder structures. Say like you will have your own pictures, videos, documents that will be saved inside a separate folder, and in that you will classify your wedding pictures, birthday pictures under the pictures folder. So similarly, your work files and personal files you will classify under the document folders. So that segregation, how you are doing it in your system. Similarly, for a framework also, you have to do that segregation. That's what we have mentioned here. It is used to group related classes, interfaces, and other files. Other files is nothing but like an Excel file, JSON file, or a text file. Anything can be set inside a package. And here we use packages to avoid name conflicts as well, and it is used to write a better maintainable code. So let's see with an example. Okay, I have the Eclipse IDE open here, and there is no project created till now. So let me create a project here. So for creating a project you need to go to file, new, and just create project. And here you need to choose a Java project. Click on next, and give any name. Okay, any project name you can give it. So let me give us learn Java, and click on next. Okay, so this is how the folder will be created under your project. This is the source folder, and under this source folder only you need to create all the packages. And click finish. Okay, this is not required for now. So you can see the project has been created and you have a source folder inside that. So now if you want to create a package, you need to create inside this source folder, inside this src folder. So I will create a package now, a simple package. You need to give a name, and naming convention is very important in Java. So for a package, you need to give the name starting with smaller letter. Okay. So for example, I am creating a package called employee. Okay. So now I have created a package. You can see there is no files inside that, so it is showing in white color, right? So let me create another package called student, and we'll create another package called student, and now we have two packages, right? So let's go to this src folder, and we'll see. Just go to the properties, right click on this any of these items, and if you go to the properties, this is the location where your project has been created. So just click and open it in the explorer, and here you can see the folder structure has been created. So you can see the src folder here, and yeah, this is the package, right? Employee we have created, there is no files inside that, and we have students package, inside that also we don't have any files. So this is how you create a package, and inside this package you can create any kind of so let's create an class file here. So class file is nothing but just right click on the package, go to new, and choose class, and say for example we will give it as name list. Okay, and here you can see the name list has been created, and you can see the package name has been available here. And here I'm creating another class file called we'll give the same name. Okay, name list. Yeah, so there are two Java files. So class files are represented with .java file. So I have created two Java file inside two different packages. Okay, so here you can see under this name list the package is been identified with the employee, and under this name list, the package is identified with student. Okay, so when you are importing it, it will properly understand. So let's say we can import here, import student dot name list. All right, so this is not using anything, but you can see it will identify based on this path. Okay, so if you import student.namelist, then it comes from this Java file. If you import employee.namelist, then it comes from this Java file. So why I'm explaining this point is which I showed before, right? All right, so here we use packages to avoid name conflicts. So there I have created two Java file with same name under two different packages. Okay, but it will identify based on that path whether this file is representing this package and this file is representing the employee package. So for that, packages are really useful. Okay. So that's it with the explanation of packages, and now let's jump into classes. So what is classes in Java? A class is a user-defined blueprint or prototype which objects are created. So it will contain all the variables and methods which we are declaring in a class file, and the format will be .java format. Okay, that will be the file format. And now it will contain all the variables, methods, everything in a class file. But we will have a question why we need to create the variables, methods, and why we are having this class file. So from a QA perspective, let me explain you like when you are testing an application. So what are the things that you need manually? So we will require a test cases for verifying or validating the application, and then we will have the test data that needs to be passed to your test cases, and then finally you will send out a report manually. So in the same thing that the same design, if you want to implement in your automation framework, that you can do it, but and these components needs to be created so that we will segregate using these packages, and a separate class file will be created, and these variables and methods using that you can access the data between the test data to the test cases, and the reporting methods you can use it in the test case file. So this kind of things you can do it. So I will give you an example on how to do this once. Okay, okay, you have the packages employee and student now. So I have deleted the class files which we created before. So now let me rename this package. Okay, so for renaming, just go to the refactor and click on rename. And here in industry standard, right, how we name the packages like form dot automation dot, and what is the first package that you want to create? It's test cases. So let's create it as test. So here you can see it got updated. And now let me go here and show you the source folder structure. So here you can see the com is created as a separate folder, the automation is created as a separate folder, and the test case is created as a separate folder. So this is how a package will get created if you are separating it with a dot. Okay, so each one will create it as a separate folder. And now the students will rename it as com dot automation dot test data. So this is the second component that we need for testing an application. And I will create another package, new package, the com dot automation dot report. Okay, so let me create it. And now we have three packages, and we will create a class file. For creating a class file, you have to go to new, choose this class, and you have to give the class name. Okay, class name should start with capital letter. So T is caps, test is one word, and cases is another word. So this C also you need to create it as a you need to start with capital letter. Okay, and now we have created the test cases Java file, and let me create the test data Java file here. And same, test is one word, data is one word, so I'm creating it with caps. So naming convention is very important in Java. So just follow that as per the standard. And here I am creating another class file as report. So now we have three packages. These are the three components we needed, right? So we have created three packages. Inside that we have a separate class file. So now let's go to this test data Java file. So for accessing the data, right, you need to create some logic here. For example, let me create a command line here. First you are creating a variable. Consider you are creating a variable to store the test data which you are getting from the Excel file. Okay, so you will store all the data in an Excel file. That also you can put it inside this com.automation.testdata package, and you have to write a logic here using a method. So now you will create a method, simple method. Okay, public, some return type you will have here. Okay, this return type can be something like a hash map or string, anything. And you will create a method like get test data. Okay, so this is how you will create a method, and now you have to write your logic here. So what you will do first, you have to access that Excel file. So first you need to find the path, assign the path. Okay, find the path of Excel and access the Excel file using some Java library. Okay, say for example you have Apache Py for accessing Excel, so that you can use it. So this will be the first thing, and the next one, you have to read the data from the file and store it to the above variable which you have created. Okay, and now you are going to return that variable using this method. So this is a class file, and you have created a variable here to store the test data from the Excel, and inside a method you are writing a logic. So you can see the variable is being accessed in this inside this method, and you are returning that variable here. So this method will be accessed by some other class files. Okay, so here you are having the reporting structure. So for a reporting structure, right, you have some reports like extent and allure something. Okay, so for that you have to do some configuration, right? So first you will write a method like public void configure report. So inside this you will write some logic where you want to place the report file, and what are the configurations, something like pie chart or something you need to put. So those things will be available in this reporting thing. So that for that you will write a method, and you will write another method for report step. Okay, so for example you can write one condition to print pass in the report, and another condition to print fail in the report. So this is few methods I have created in the report class file, and you have another class file called Java test cases. So here you are going to write the main test case, right? So for example, I'm creating my first test case login. Okay, and here in this login, first you have to write the logic. Whatever you will do it in the test steps, right? In the test case, you will have some test steps. So same thing, you will write it in code. So you will need to access the website which is your application using some tools, automation tools. Okay, using some automation tools like Selenium or something, and now you have to pass the test data. You have to pass the test data in this step. So for the test data, from where you will get it? You will get it from this test data Java file by calling this method. Okay, using get test data method from this file. Okay, and now finally you will put some condition here. If it is passed, then you will call this method report step method and you will print the statement. Okay, call report step method and print the report. Okay, so like this you can write multiple test cases, and you can also segregate like a login as a separate Java file and registration as another Java file. So this is how you will use the classes variables. So now we have created some variable here for storing that value from the test data, and this method is being reused in test cases Java file, and here you have created some methods, and here also you will have some variables. So those things will be reused in some other Java files. So for accessing that you need object. Okay, so this is our next thing, what is methods and what is objects. So that I will give you with a simple example from which you can easily understand how to access that. But this is the whole thing that we have to learn. Okay, so this is how the class files and things will be there, but for this logics I have simply written in line, but this is you need to create with the Java code. Okay, so that is simple. Let me explain you in our future tutorials, but now first learn what is packages, classes, and then now we will see what are methods, what are how you can initialize a method and variable, and how you can access that using the object that we will see now. Okay, so let me give you a simple example to explain this packages, classes, objects, and methods. So here you can see this is a source folder, and here you have two packages. So say for example you are a customer of an HDFC bank. So HDFC have two companies like HDFC Bank and HDFC Home Loan. So this package one, okay. So this package one will have the HDFC Bank details. Okay. So HDFC Bank details, in the first class you will have the bank account details for the user, say Dinesh, and these are the variables, right? So for bank account you need account holder name, account number, available balance, branch details. So these are some variables that are required for this bank account. And the second class file will contain the card account details. Okay, say for example you have linked a credit card with this bank account, then that card account details for the same user will be stored inside this class file 2. And here you have some variables like card holder name, card number, credit limit, branch detail, card type, everything. And inside the home loan package you will be having a home loan account details for user Dinesh. So home loan details variables are something like loan account holder name, loan account number, loan amount, and branch details. And we will create some methods or functions. Say for example, here I am creating in class 2, right? Class file 2, I am creating a method or function to return the values, all these variable values, right? We will return it with some methods, okay? And here we will return all this loan account number, loan account, all these variable values with some method, okay? So here we will have some methods or function in class file 1, and we will access those variables and methods from these two class files, card class file 2 and home loan class file 1, and we will store it here. Okay, so this is a simple example where you can see you have some different class files that has uh, separate variables and methods which is written to that class files, and how you can able to access between these class files. So that we will see as an example now. Okay. Okay, so let me create two packages now. One is for the HDFC Bank and HDFC Home Loan. And for HDFC Bank, I need to create two class files. One is bank account and card account. And for home loan, I will create one class file. Okay. So I have created two packages now. So let me create a class file here. First, we'll create for the bank account details. Okay, so bank is one word, starts with caps, and account is one word. So this is the class name we have created. So here let us check this public static void main. Okay, because if you have this main function, you will be execute a Java file. If you don't have this main function, then you will not be able to execute the Java file. So if you want to execute as a Java file, then you have to check this public static void main. Okay, so I have created a class name here. Similarly, we'll create for credit card uh, class card account details, and let's check this checkbox. And for home loan, let's create another Java file, class file. Okay, home loan details. And so now we have created three class files. So first, let's go to the bank account details, and here we will create what are the variables that are required. Okay. Okay, so these are the variables we need to create for bank account details. So first, account holder name. So we have to provide the data type properly. So account holder name is a string. It's a non-primitive data type we need to provide, and can give the account holder name here. So this is also a naming convention. For variables you need to start with small letters and the second words, and after that each word should start with caps. Okay, the holder is a separate word, so it start with caps, and n is a separate word. And now let us give the, so this is how you represent a string. Okay, inside double quotes you have to give the value. And this is account number, right? So for account number you can specify the data type as long. So if you are not familiar with the variables and data types, then you can refer my previous video that I have explained this in detail, so you will not have any doubt in that. So here I need to give some long account number. So consider this as my account number, and you have to give the literal here, right? Oh, sorry. And now the available balance. Say we will give the data type as integer, and let's store this available balance here. Available balance is 90,000. And finally, the branch location, that also will be a string. And let's put it as Adaya. So this is the branch location. So now let's create a method, simple void method. Okay. So for creating a method, it's similar to a variable. Okay. First, it should start with the small bank, and now account is starting with caps, and details is a separate word, so it will also start with caps. I have created a method here. Okay. And now I am printing all these values. This out account, sorry, account holder name is, just give this variable here, so it will print. Okay, similarly I'll print other three values. Okay, so I have printed the other values also here. So this bank account details method will just display all the values which are assigned to these variables. Okay, so now let's run this program. Just right click, and if you run as Java application, so you can see it will not execute, because as I said, this main method should have initialized with some methods. Okay, with some statements, then only this whatever available inside this main method will only get executed in a Java file. So let us call this bank account details here. So you can see here it is throwing an error. Okay, either you need to change this method to static, otherwise I told bank object, right? So for accessing all these variables and methods in this class itself, you have to create an object. Okay, so for creating an object, just first you need to give the class name and give some object name here. Okay, and you are creating a new object for this class and account details. So this is how you create an object. Okay, so you have created an object for this bank account details class now, and you can see here using this object. So this bank details, right? Using this object, you can see you have all the variables: account holder name, account number, available balance, branch location, and the bank account details is the method. Correct? So now let's choose. You can access anything using this object. So that's why the object will hold all the variables and methods inside a class. Okay, so now if you print, if you are executing this as Java application, so it will run this two steps now. So you can see whatever the print statement that we have given inside this bank account details, right? It is printing here, right? So now let's create the same variables which I mentioned in the diagram. I will create it here, and I will create a similar method called card account details and home loan details. Okay, let me create it here now. Okay, so I have created the details. So here card holder name, it's a string, so data type, and card number is length numeric, so I have given long as the data type. And here credit card, I have given integer credit limit. And the similar way I'm displaying those details inside this card account details method. And here similarly I have initialized the variables which are related to home loan, and I have created a details method which displays all these details which we have assigned to the variable. Now even here, if you want to access all this, right, you have to create an object. So let's create an object here as well. Card details equal to, I mean the class name you need to give, and then create an okay, and then create an object. So using this object, you can call the variables and methods available in this class file. Okay, so this card account details object will have access only to this variables. So here you can give, and if you print, okay, I'm sorry. So here if you go right, you need to have the card account details. So you have it. I think it ran properly. Okay, so this is the values are getting displayed. Okay, so this is working fine. So for example, if you want to access this card account details in this class file, what you need to do, you need to create an object for this class. Okay, the similar step you have to create it here. Okay, so you have to give the class name of this card account details Java file, which is card account details, and create an object. And now you can see from here you can able to access card holder name, card number, credit limit, card account details, everything you can access from here. And if you run you have to run the bank account details, correct? So let me run the bank account details, and you can see it first executed this bank account details method. Okay, so from here it is executing the bank account details method, so it displays all available balance, everything, and then it goes to the card details, card account details class file. So here the objects are we have created object in this class file. Okay, card details we have created, and we are calling the method from this. So this method we are calling it from this Java file. Okay, and it displayed here properly. So yeah, so you can see the 90,000 is the credit limit, right? So which we have given here, and this is the card number. Oh sorry, so I think we need to change here, that is the problem. Card holder name, credit limit. So those things were not changed. So that is the problem, and you can execute it again. Okay, so now it displayed properly. All right. Okay, now we are accessing the objects and sorry, the variables and methods from this class file. This is inside the same package, correct? So if you want to access from a different package, that is also you have to create in a similar way. You have to create an object for that class file, which is bank account details, and create an object for that. Object name you can give anything, that is not. And all right, so from here also you can access the method. So bank details dot, you can see the bank account details method is coming, right? So let me run this home loan account details, this one, home loan details. Okay, so I will run this as a Java application, and here you can see the account holder name, available balance, branch location, which are the variables assigned here. So this method has been executed from a class file outside the package also. So when you are having a framework, when you are creating a framework, or if you are working on a framework, this is how the files will be. Okay, different packages you will have, different class files you will have. So you have to traverse between the class files, and you have to call different methods, different variables you need to access. So for all that, these objects will be useful, and you need to understand there are several more Java concepts like inheritance, and you have several access modifiers. So those things we will see it in detail, but for now you have to understand just how the class files are being created, and how methods are being created, and how it is being accessed between the class files. Okay. Okay, now let's see a detailed explanation of methods. So methods can be declared as void. Okay, so right now you are seeing the method has been declared as void, right? So this void is nothing but there will not be any kind of return type. Okay, so just if you declare this method, if you execute this method, it will just um, execute whatever the block of code that is available inside this brackets. Okay, only this will get executed, and no return types. It will not return anything, that is called void. Okay, so it will just execute this statement of lines, and some methods can be return type as well. Okay, so if you want to declare a method as return type, then it will return something. Okay, and some methods can be with parameters. Okay, so it does not have any parameters here inside this. You are not assigning any parameters, so you can assign parameters as well. So now what we'll do is we will create a, so void we have already seen, right? So these are called void methods, so we have created in all three class files. So now let's create a method which has declared with some return types, and we will access in the home loan, we will create some return methods, and we will access that from the bank account details. Okay, we will create here a separate method to store all this loan account number, everything we will store it here. Okay, we will store it here. So let's see, for example, now I'm going to create a return method, public. So first what we'll do, let's return this loan account number. Okay, so return type, you have to give the data type which you want to return. So if you want to return this loan account number, then the data type should be, instead of void, right, you need to give the data type. And here I'm going to create a method, get loan account number. And here you can see it is throwing an error, just add a return statement. So you can see Java Eclipse finds out this is the only long variable available in this class file, and it is returning this one now. Okay, similarly I'm going to create a return method for the second one, integer loan amount, right? So for this I'm going to create a method get loan amount. Okay, and here you have to return this loan amount. So these are some methods. Oh, so these are some methods with return type. Okay, so just we will return this loan account number and loan amount alone, and we will add these two values in this bank account details. So let's create another with long data type. What we are doing, home. Okay, home loan account number. So I have created a simple variable here, and for integer home loan amount. Okay, so I have created two variables here for storing that values. Okay, so for storing these two values I have created a variable here. So I will create a separate method now, public. So we'll create a void method itself, add home loan variables. Okay, or something like store home loan variables. So now what we'll do, what you have to do now, you need to create an object. Okay, so you have to give this class name home loan details. What is the class name here? Just create the class name, and you have to create an object, home loan obj something you can create, and give the class name. So now I have created a class name, so it will ask you to import, because this is the first time we are using between packages. So you can see here com.hdfc. So this one, it is traversing and it got imported here. And now let's access those return methods here. What is this? Get loan account number. This is one method we have created, right? Get loan account number. What is there? Get loan account number. It is returning the loan account number here. And now let's access the other method, loan get loan amount. Now what we'll do, we will store these two values with this variable. Okay, so this is how you just so you can see here it will store. And now this home loan amount, you can store it here. Okay, so now let's print this one. They stored home loan account number. We will give this value. Okay, so if this value comes and store here in this variable, then it should print properly. So same thing we will do it for home loan amount as well. Okay, for home loan amount, and here I'm printing this. So for this one we need to create an object here. Okay, so let's create an object for this bank account details. I think it has been removed. Bank account obj, new bank account. Okay, so this object I am using it for getting this store home loan variables. Where is it? Okay, and now let me run this program. Bank account details, right? Yeah, so here you can see the home loan amount is 2 lakhs and the home loan account number is this one. So just go here and see the same value is available. Okay, so now what we did, void method we have seen already in this loan account details, card account details, and everything we have seen. And for a method with return type, we have created a return type method. So you need to just give the data type which you are returning. So loan account number is a long variable. Okay, so I am specifying that here instead of void I'm giving long, and this is the integer, so I am specifying the data type as integer here. Okay, and now I'm just creating two variables here for storing that value. I'm going to access these two methods, I'm storing it here. Okay, so for that I created a separate method like store home variables, and I created an object for this home loan details, and I access those methods get loan account number and get loan amount. I'm storing it to these variables. Okay, so this is how you will access different methods from different class files, and you can use it or store it in some variables. And this is for the methods with return types. Okay, so now let's see how to declare a method with parameter. Okay, so for methods by passing through a parameter, right? So let me remove all these values from this variables. Okay, so let me remove it, and I will create a method here. All right, so let me create a method with return type itself. So we'll return this card number and credit card limit. Okay, and long get card number. So you need to pass a parameter. Okay, so let me pass a parameter here, uh, string card type. Okay, so I have passed a method like card type, and here you are getting a return statement. So now let me put a simple condition. Okay, if card type dot platinum, then this card number. Okay, this card number equals some value starting with 5, and finally you need to put the literal since it is a long data type. And now I will put another if card type dot equals diamond. Okay, something like diamond, then the card number is something starting with 8 or something, 8. Okay, and now here we will return this card number. Okay, so this is one method, and similar method you will create it um, for the credit limit as well. Okay, for the credit limit the data type should be integer, and get credit limit, let's change the and here also based on the card type we will return the credit limit. Okay, so credit limit is something like 90,000. If it is platinum, it's very less, right? So if it is diamond, let's see, some 1,20,000, and let's return the credit limit here. Okay, so now this is an return type method, method with return type, and now we have passed a. Okay, so now we have passed a parameter here. Okay, so let's go here and we'll store these two values in the bank account details itself. So let me create a separate method here, public void store card variables. Okay, now let's create an object here for this class file, card obj new, and now I have created an object. So we need to create another variable here. Say for example card number. Okay, card number and credit card credit limit. Okay, so I have created two variables here, and now let's go here and we'll store the card number equal to use this object to get the method from there to get card number as the method, and it is asking for an parameter here. So now you need to pass, so here we have given a condition, so just listen carefully. If the card type we are giving this parameter, we are passing it, right? So if you are giving platinum, okay, then it will give this card number. If you are giving diamond, then it will give this card number. Okay, so it will return based on the parameter which you are passing it here when accessing this method. Okay, so that is a method with parameter. So similarly for the credit limit, if you pass the parameter as platinum, then it will return this credit limit. If you pass it as diamond, then it will return this credit limit. So this is the method which you are passing it with a parameter. And now let's see here. I'm passing it for platinum. Okay, and this is for card number, right? So card credit limit. So okay, think I made some mistake. Okay, card credit limit. Oh, what happened? Okay, so code obj dot get credit limit. Okay, and here also I will pass it as platinum. And now let's print these two values. Okay, let me copy paste here for stored card number. I'm going to print this value here, and stored credit limit. I'm going to print this value here. So now let me run this program, and here I think we will comment this out, and let me call the store card variables. Okay, this method I will call it now, and this object, same object, I will use it here. Dot store card variables, correct? So now let's print this bank account details dot java file, and you can see it printed this value. Can we go here? So we have passed the parameters as platinum here, and when you go here for platinum, the card number is 5363, so it's printing correctly. For platinum, the credit limit is 90,000, it is printing correctly. So now I'm going here and changing diamond, and here also I'm changing it as diamond. Let me print this again, and you can see the value it is taking from the diamond block. Okay, so this if condition I will explain it in a separate video, just for an explanation how when we pass a parameter how it works with the method. Okay, so this is the complete explanation of package, classes, methods and objects. Okay, so this is how we access or traverse through the class files, and we use the objects of different classes, and we will get the variables and methods of that class, and we will use it in our framework. Okay, so this is a basic explanation, and you will get some kind of more information like for this is public, right? So you have several access modifiers like private also. Okay, private, protected, default, there are several access modifiers which I will be explaining you in a separate video. And also there are static, non-static methods, static, non-static variables, so those things we will see it in a separate session. So for now, this is the explanation of packages, classes, methods and objects. Okay, and here as I said, the naming convention is very important. For package, you need to give everything in small characters. And for class file, when you are creating, it should start with capital letter, and each word should start with capital letter. Bank is one word, account is one word, details is one word. And for variables, you can see it should start with the first word should start with small characters, and from the second word onwards, it should be in caps. The same thing is applicable for methods. So these are some naming convention which you need to follow. And that's it with this session. And thanks for watching this video.